Hello there, listeners. Welcome to the Bullpen Podcast. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to quickly talk about Buzzsprout. So, over the years, myself and Jamie have worked incredibly hard and refined the Bullpen Podcast into the stylish cultural phenomenon that it is today. But none of this would have been possible without Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout as a platform allows us to upload our finished work and host it on major services such as Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes and more. Simply put, without Buzzsprout, we would not have reached as many ears as we have. Once you sign up to Buzzsprout, you immediately get access to several hours worth of upload allowance a month, as well as an easy to navigate website and analytical data of every aspect of your podcast and all its listeners. If you sign up using our link in the podcast description, you'll find information on how to sign up and grab a $25 Amazon voucher courtesy of Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest way to get your podcast off the ground. Join over 100,000 podcasters getting their voices heard and sign up using our link today. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bullpen.
Good evening. I'm Jamie Ramage, and we've got Mr.
Thomas Boultby, and our host tonight with the most.
Well, we're all hosts, aren't we?
We're all hosts.
Yeah,
I don't
you
want
are
to take the lead on this one.
the hostess with the mostest.
This boy is
Smith.
Oh, damn. Yeah, this is the Bullpen podcast about baseball.
Ish.
We know bits and bobs about it. That's as far as it goes.
We've got a special guest tonight, haven't we?
We do.
Yes.
So we've got Mr. Guthrie Miller from Sportsbook.
Hi guys.
How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for offering your time for our lovely little podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So if you want to just start by just giving a little introduction to your company that you've formed.
Sure. So I've been working in sports development for around 16 years, and it's something that's I've been passionate about in terms of sports and the good of sport. I was initially working for Kent County Council and working for a county sports partnership, which is a delivery part of the delivery network of Sport England, and I've done various amount of roles, and I felt that there was an opportunity and a need to support teams to understand more about funding.
Yeah.
And I felt that American sports has an ability to engage with people, really, engage with an audience, and that's a very current theme within sports development. And the opportunity sort of presented itself to start a little initiative, and so far it's been very, very popular and well received.
Yeah,
Really good.
I mean, you are right that US sports does seem to always be in need of that little bit of a push,
Especially over here.
Yeah, in the UK.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's a huge audience.
Yeah.
As you know through baseball. But American sports such as American football, lacrosse, basketball, softball, and others have huge followings. Just it offers something different to people, and an intrigue into something to get into and something to maybe try. Yeah. But a lot of the time we find that people, there may be teams that exist in parts of the world that are constantly saying that there are people turning up at their doorstep saying, "I've lived here for 30 years and never seen you.
Wow.
Never knew you existed, and you're literally at the end of my street." So yeah, I just think there's a very current theme in sports development, where sports development wants to get people engaged in sport and physical activity, and American sports can currently do that, I believe. I
mean, when we first started out, we were surprised by how many baseball teams were based locally, weren't we?
Yeah, I didn't know any, to be fair.
Yeah.
Until you go on the likes of Twitter and stuff like that, and you steadily find that there's more and more as you go along that we didn't even know about. So it's quite good in a way, but like you say, it does need more exposure.
Sure.
To the big
we saw that engagement a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
With the London series taking place.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Americans were jaw-droppingly astounded that there was that many people interested, and not only interested but fanatical about the game. And struck me as very similar to when NFL first came to Wembley, and the NFL were fascinated that there were people interested in the game.
Yeah,
more than interested, avid followers, avid fans, and in-depth knowledge and passion for the game. And I think it was a very good showcase and an example of the engagement that the game can have.
Yeah, I mean, it sold out really quickly as well, didn't it?
Oh, it did. I mean, we tried to get tickets, but there was just absolutely no hope of doing it. And that just highlights the demand that was in this country for that particular game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're very reasonably priced, I felt, compared to NFL matches.
Yeah. I mean, the price point wasn't too bad. It was probably what you expect from a sort of Premiership football, top level game.
Yeah, because Red Sox Yankees, it's the rivalry.
It's the big draw, isn't it?
It is the biggest draw, so the prices are obviously going to be increased slightly. But it wasn't too bad a price, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
and I don't think you can underestimate just how good the coverage that Channel 5 had like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I do remember that actually. Yeah, they had like the games on in like albeit the early hours, but their coverage was pretty good.
Yeah, that's when you first. That's 2003, 4, wasn't it? Yeah. So, what about a more in-depth look at what your company has achieved in its lifespan so far? Guthrie.
Sure. Well, we haven't been going very long.
Yeah.
It's only a few months, but at this stage, it's about trying our best to get the message out that we exist,
Definitely,
and to talk to teams, talk to people, and try and find out if there's a need or a demand for funding or initiatives or projects to be developed within the game. And I've done a bit of that, and managed to be introduced to some teams that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
And it's a sort of an incremental, slowly but surely build the knowledge and the sort of backlog of cases and word of mouth to sort of get people to feel comfortable with working with us, and keen to try and access funding, basically.
So is it something that you've initially thought you'll start in your local area, for instance, and then
branch out?
Yeah, just see how you expand that way.
I mean, yes, there are some local contacts that I've been talking to, and I mean, we're trying to operate across a number of different sports. So American football, baseball, softball, and lacrosse are our main focuses at the moment. And yes, there are some teams that I've met locally to discuss some initiatives. But I mean, today I was talking to a team in Dunfermline about American football. And I've also had some connections and people contact me from Cork to talk about baseball.
Oh, wow,
brilliant!
So there is a fairly sort of common language with funders and funding.
Okay.
So whilst I've explained that I'm not an expert in Irish governmental funding, I'll try. And see if there's anything I can do to try, see what I can do to try and help, get some access to some funding for them to help them do what they need to do.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
sounds really good.
Yeah, and I guess where you're based, there is quite a wealth of kind of bat and ball kind of clubs in like cricket and stallball, which I don't think is
stallball's big.
Yeah,
stallball is big.
So that you've got the transferable skills there, haven't you? So
yeah, I mean cricket and striking sports are my background in hockey and cricket.
Mm-hmm.
But I have played stallball. Any other keen stallballers down there?
What? No,
I've never heard of it.
No, I've never heard of it.
It's kind of the easiest, simplest way I think to describe it is kind of a mix between cricket and rounders.
Okay.
You have like a square kind of. You have a square thing on a post.
Right.
It's like a flat board, square board.
Right.
And that's where you've got to aim the ball for to get the batter out. And then they've got these weird paddle bats. It's really good.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so there's a target on a post in where the batter has to defend,
Right.
and yeah, so like a chunky table tennis bat made out of wood.
Right.
And yeah, it's a Sussex-based sport, I believe. Probably on Countryfile, you'll probably see some footage of that one day. But yeah, it's certainly a sport that's played a lot around here. But I mean, around where I'm based in the southeast, there's Tunbridge is a very prominent club, and recently I went and chatted to the South Coast Pirates to see what they've been up to.
Okay.
A new team newish team down in Hastings with some really cool plans to develop their site if they can. I don't know if you guys know that they've got a lovely sort of lot of potential at this as an old soccer stadium. So I think it's a really interesting project. And I hope it may be something that gains momentum. But yeah, check their pictures on their website, and there's a lot of teams doing a lot of good work. And I believe that a lot of teams also have had a lot of inquiries based on the London series.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's took off since then, definitely.
Because it's a similar effect of when, like you say, when the NFL first came over, and it just seemed to spawn overnight like British NFL leagues.
Yeah. And
Just from that, from that one game.
Like I say, all it takes is like I say, the seed to be planted. That it is big and it can grow from there. Because like I say, with the NFL, it kind of grew overnight, and with baseball as well. Like I say, we didn't know half the teams that even existed.
No,
and there is quite a few.
Yeah, and in American football in this country, the big growth has been at university level. Most universities have a team. And once they graduate, guys want to go and play wherever they've come from. And that's how some of the growth has starting teams all around the country where there haven't been. And that's sort of been a big enabler. So, yeah, lots of people interested in American sports, and I think it's something that's for young people as well as adults. And some great initiatives that Baseball Softball UK have been involved in trying to expand participation. And, I can only see more of that happening in the next 12 months as we're hopefully we will be getting the next game. And hopefully more in the future. I hope that campaign keeps going.
Yeah, I think it will.
I think so as well.
Because a very similar thing in America when soccer first went over there.
Yeah.
It was more or less an alien concept to them, wasn't it? And then their government funding for that sport now is just like, they've seen the potential of the sport, and they want teams to be competitive on the national level.
For equal opportunities, every university that set up a team in America for a men's team, they had to set up an equal amount of girls, women's sports. So you do get that kind of rise altogether, I think.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the US football team now, you can say that the women are better than them because the women won the World Cup recently. So that just goes to show how far soccer in the US has risen in terms of the sort of dominant sports that are over there. Like you say, your American football, your basketball, and stuff like that. It's risen dramatically.
Just proves a bit of money to go a long way.
Have been cases allegedly in the States where some high schools have down-tooled with American football due to the high cost and, frankly, danger levels.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
That have been involved in that sport, and soccer has been sort of taken on more in some of these high schools because of the sheer cost of it. It's much cheaper than playing American football.
I mean, it was always a tough sort of crowd for soccer to get in because you've got NFL, baseball, basketball. Every American kid growing up, they were your three sports.
Yeah, they are.
And just adding that extra dimension, it's so many more opportunities now for kids growing up just to do something sports-wise.
Yeah.
Just because of the exposure.
I think every sort of kid should be able to access sport at any level.
Oh, definitely.
Because especially in this country, it's not a lot of kids. You don't see them play sport. It's kind of sad, really, that you don't sort of get that opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And I think if it's accessible, then I think it's good for everyone, really.
So what about yourselves in terms of American sports in general, Guthrie? I mean, you show a keen interest. Is there any particular sport that you're most fond of, and any teams that you follow?
I am a Packers fan in the NFL, so I do follow a lot of NFL. Particularly, I massively got into fantasy American football a few years ago.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I do enjoy American football, but I guess I did work in American football in this country briefly for 4 years.
Okay.
In a coaching company, and the love of the game sort of came through there. But before I joined the American football company, I did have a huge interest in MLB. Really, originally my mum got me a Indians cap in the 80s. That's a bit controversial now.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
But I mean, been fortunate enough to travel a bit in the States. Been to Fenway Park to see the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Been to Minute Maid Park to see the Astros. But I'm a Cubbies fan, basically.
Nice. Is that a city that you've been to as well, Guthrie?
I haven't been to Wrigley Field yet, unfortunately.
It is a beautiful
stadium.
On the list. It is a really good stadium. Well, I mean, they're all beautiful in their own way.
They are, yeah.
It's a different kind of architecture, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're used to sort of one sports stadium, and you see a baseball stadium for the first time.
Well, I know the team that I follow, the Giants, their stadium overlooking the bay. It's a phenomenal, like I say, structure.
Yeah.
But everyone's different in their own particular way, isn't it? So. Yeah,
but as a kid growing up in the 80s, the Cubbies just seemed to be everywhere on every film, on every sort of everything like sort of the popular culture I absorbed from Blues Brothers to Brewster's Millions to Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck, yeah.
just like the Cubbies were present, and I just thought, they're always talking about the Cubs, and I just felt that certainly the theme of the Cubs until very recently was a valiant cause.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've always had an affinity with the Cubs, really.
It's nice to hear someone not just be a Yankees,
conform to the sort of everybody else. I mean, it's nice.
Yankees of the last 10 years are just like it's one of the two teams in the London series.
Yeah.
One of the two teams that probably people have heard of.
Yeah. I'm in Red Sox just to be anti-Yankees.
Yeah.
How many Padres fans do you tend to bump into?
Absolutely none. If I'm honest. It is strange that because it's not one of the most fashionable teams, and I think that's what sort of Well, it's one of the first cities I went to in America where I did feel I'd fallen in love with that city.
Yeah.
And one of the first games I went to was a Padres game. And it just, this is my fate now, yeah.
Yeah, you're bound to it now.
I've chosen my mediocrity. Yeah. I'm never going to win anything. But that's fine.
Well, there's so much parity in American sports. There's so many alleged parity in American sports that, maybe one day.
That is true. Yeah. It's more of an even field, isn't it?
Yeah.
Evenly funded field.
Look at the Cubs. Like I say, they won the World Series a few years back for the first time. Was it 108 years?
Yeah.
So it just goes to show that you can come from anywhere. Especially the draft system and getting young college kids into the team to integrate them and grow and into superstars. I think, like you say, any team at any given day can beat anybody.
Yeah.
The first World Series that I watched was the Marlins win it. So
there you go. Look at where the Marlins are now. It's a complete contrast.
It's only because they've gone Miami, isn't it?
Yeah. It was Florida, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they've switched. Yeah, just goes to show anyone can beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what's your future vision for your company then, Guthrie? In the next 12 months, what's your plan of action?
Well, I really would love to talk to as many baseball or softball teams as possible who have a new idea, a new project, maybe a new team, or even thinking of forming a club, then those are the kinds of areas that funders are really more interested in than some other cases. So I'd really love to work with as many teams as possible, and not only just let's talk about funding, but just talk about other areas that that they're interested in, and just strike up a conversation really with as many teams as possible. I mean, what we really want to do is see if we can, we'd like to carry out a consultation with teams and just find out a bit more about the need they have, or any ideas they have, how suitable they may be, and see what I can do to help take them through the process and build their case, and put them on a pathway to maybe funding funding applications relatively quickly, or further down the line in a year's time, or whenever is suitable for their own growth. Really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're trying to get in touch with our local baseball team, aren't we? So we'll definitely pass your site and details along to them.
Definitely.
So I think
thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean every baseball team in this country seems to be on the same sort of standard at the minute. Yeah, level at the minute. Just that little push in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will go a long way.
So I mean, there's not everybody suitable for funding, but I want to be like to see how I can possibly shape or support teams to become that way one day.
Well, it's probably a conversation that these teams haven't considered, and having an option like yourself would definitely give them something to work towards and sort of show them where they can be. And yeah, good stuff.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Who's going to win the Sussex-Hampshire games tonight?
Oh, sorry, I didn't quite catch all of that.
Who's going to win the Sussex-Hampshire match tonight?
T20 cricket.
Yeah.
Good question. I haven't even checked that one. So who are they playing?
It's the El Classic Coast, Sussex against Hampshire.
Or Hampshire.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Well,
but if you don't say Sussex, then
I mean, Sussex have. Let's just say they're in a rut.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily performing very well across most formats, not all formats. I haven't seen their early if they've won their recent T20s, but I think the odds are stacked in Hampshire's favour. I have to unfortunately say.
Yeah.
So it's odds on Hampshire win then tonight.
Well, you'd say so, but if all the teams that I wouldn't want Sussex to be beat by is Hampshire.
Oh, is it that bad?
It is that bad. I'm blocked from Hampshire on Twitter, so.
I wonder how many Ireland fans have emerged today.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Especially one from Scotland and Wales, maybe.
Well, one of my first game as a Sussex member was against Ireland, so I've always had a soft spot for them. So to the extent where, on a couple of occasions, I have been asked when Ireland are playing England, you are supporting England today, aren't you?
God.
That was a crazy game too. Crazy first innings.
But no, I wouldn't go too far to say as I'd want Ireland to beat England, but anybody else they could beat.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good answer.
Saved at the end. Listen, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
For dedicating your time to us, Guthrie. It's been a pleasure. A bit of an insight, actually, for us, because it's not really, for me, it's not really an option that you consider until you're told about it. And it's like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But is there anything you want to plug before we finish up?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to take part.
No problem.
Find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, and www.sportsbucks.org. Yeah. Sportsbucks.org. And drop us an email. Follow us, and just drop. See if there's anything we can help you with.
I mean, we'll share all the details.
Yeah, we'll
pass all that around.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thanks for your time, Guthrie.
No worries.
Have a good evening.
Bye bye.
And you. Cheers.
Bye bye.
What a lovely young man.
Lovely young man.
Lovely.
2 for 2 on lovely young men.
Yeah.
Both with an Indians thing as well.
Yeah, what is the Indians' fascination? I mean, where are they in the standings at the minute?
They're in one of the leagues.
They're actually second in the Central.
One of the 6 leagues, I'll have you know.
3 games back. 3 games back from the Twins.
I'll tell you what, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Like an unnamed pop star in some form of child crash.
I've got a bit of a dab on.
Things that you do.
Well, you didn't say that. I don't know.
You're trapped on the dance floor.
I've not been playing at all.
I haven't. What is the game you've got for us tonight, Mr. Ramage?
So this is Secret Bingo for this week.
Secret Bingo.
It is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
French Prince.
The French Prince.
Oui.
The Fresh Prince is homage to UK DIY from their album Home Base.
Home Base. So incredible. There's no longer a home base in this country, is it? Did they not get shut down?
Well, this was in the early 90s.
Yeah,
did it get bought by the Range?
I think it was something to do with Sainsbury's at one point.
Okay.
But they're not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
So you've gone full circle, haven't you? You started Sigrid, you ventured into 70s.
Yeah.
Sort of smooth R&B pop.
Yeah.
And then you sort of...
Yes. Went to
90s?
Fleetwood Mac.
90s, yeah.
Then you went to,
I mean, I'll tell you one thing, Tom. This boy's smooth.
His voice smooth.
He seems to you, and we didn't actually say your name. Who are you?
I'm not telling you.
It's the French Prince.
Mr. Image seems to be caught in the middle tonight.
I don't know.
I mean, you saw my blinker. Why didn't you react in some way?
It's because I'm all that.
Ah, well.
It's just
the things that you do.
Things that you beat me to it.
Yeah. Well, I think you talked about that 3 minutes ago. So.
It counts when I say it.
Does it? I mean, well, anyway, so it is the English summertime.
It is. Yeah, it really is.
It's the 3 days where it is hotter than hot.
It's hotter in England than it is in Jamaica.
Yes.
Jamaica.
For Jamaica, man.
It's probably hotter than it is in Copenhagen.
We are suffering in the towers.
And it's 18 degrees.
The aircon's on, but in bullpen towers, there's so much ground to cover.
Yeah. There's not enough aircon.
And even when I ring my bell, the butler doesn't come.
Oh, he does.
He does. But not in the way I was hoping.
No.
I just wanted to switch the aircon on. So like, why do I have to reach for the button that's over there?
Because he's trapped on the dance floor.
Yeah. And he could come... to be fair, he's dumb dancing, isn't he?
Anyway, so how are you two lovely gents tonight?
I'm alright, yeah.
Off in the heat?
It's hot.
A dog is a dog.
A dog is a dog, well done.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't, does it?
Well, I'm saying I'm a dog.
A dog is a dog, that's right.
A dog is a dog.
It makes no sense and makes perfect sense.
Yeah, at the same time. But there you go.
Do you want to play my game?
Go on then.
Yeah, you gave us a sneak
14th
peek
of
into
October.
Yeah.
1066.
You quoted this earlier as the game to end all games.
Not quite.
Is that what you said?
Timeless.
Yeah. Timeless.
Yeah, it's all in the dates.
So I'm going to give you, it is.
Yeah.
That's the clue.
Which is why I said the 14th of October 1066.
Not quite though. Close,
yeah.
But also not really.
Not really close.
Near.
So basically, you know when.
And that was the Battle of Battle.
The Battle of
Battle. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Battle's an actual place.
Yeah. Near Hastings.
Yeah.
And
not to be confused with the Battle of Hastings.
No. Which happened in Battle, by the way, and not Hastings.
I'm lost. Anyway.
So I'm going to give you 5 sporting underdog achievements.
Okay.
Over the years. And you have to tell me...
winning the FA Cup.
Let me tell you mine. That's a good one. I like that one. So I'll give you 5 events where the underdog overcome great success.
David and Goliath, sort
of. And you just tell me how they happened in chronological order.
Okay.
So we're talking from the earliest to latest?
You can go earliest to latest, that makes more sense. There are 5, so you might have to write these down.
Okay.
So,
Ajax.
John Daly wins the US PGA title. A rookie who had missed the cut in almost half his tournaments was 9th reserve and only found out he was entering the night before the tournament.
Okay.
John Daly.
American golfer. Yeah. Big blonde.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah, big fat guy.
Golf doesn't count.
Buster Douglas at 42-1 beats Mike Tyson for the world heavyweight title. Tyson had a 33 out of 33 win record, and Douglas was battling flu and had lost his mother weeks before the fight.
Yep.
Boris Becker wins Wimbledon at just 17, was supposed to be studying for college, and instead won 7 games at Wimbledon, including the 8th seed Kevin Curran to win the title in the
From
final.
South Africa.
I don't think he was. I think he was down as American.
No, Kevin Curran. Well, I think he was originally South
African.
Oh, okay. Could be just lying.
The American, he may have been born in one and raised in another.
Yeah, maybe.
Crazy world.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson at 150-1 wins the World Snooker Championship. He was an ex-Gasport employee that beat Steve Davis, who was number 1 in the final. Boston Red Sox win the World Series after an 86-year wait, coming back from 3-0 down to beat the Yankees 4-3 in the American League, before beating the Cardinals in the World Series.
Right.
Yeah. 5 events. Earliest to latest, please.
Earliest to latest. So Johnson, Beckett, Douglas, Daly, Red Sox.
Okay, so you're going Johnson, Becker, Douglas, Daly,
Red Sox.
Close but no cigar.
Johnson, Douglas, Becker, Daly, Red Sox.
No, Ramage was closer. You were 1 off. Becker was earliest, 85.
85. I've got down 87.
I got down 87 for Becker.
Johnson was 86.
I got 78.
I knew Douglas was it 90s?
1990 for Douglas.
I got 92 sons.
John Daly was 91.
97 I've got.
And Red Sox was
2004.
Yes. So you have played the really good bullpen.
Yeah. Imagine
underdog time game.
Imagine if I got the Red Sox year wrong.
You were Johnson and Becker the wrong way around. That's what did you?
I just thought Johnson was old, a lot older.
I thought Steve Davis would have given it away.
Yeah, but still.
Early 80s. Big Steve.
Big Steve.
Yeah. But I went for Becker.
Stevie D.
was like 87, 85, 87.
Isn't Boris Becker nearly bankrupt now?
Yeah.
He's selling all of his
stuff.
Yeah, basically all of his stuff just to try and get some money.
But he gets a salary from the BBC, I'm sure, from doing the commentary. And
I think he
just turns up and they can't get rid of him.
Did it not have something to do with? I think he tried to. He moved to Africa or something to try and get involved with. I can't remember what country it was. And I think they took all his money or something went really, really wrong.
Oh God!
And he just went completely bankrupt and he's trying to sell all of his stuff.
It's usually some kind of divorce. Once a sports star.
Yeah.
That's what gets you.
Becker is the most famous Boris in the world.
Well, it's Karloff.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other Borises.
Boris the Blade from Snatch.
Boris.
People, not Snatch.
Real people, not fictional characters.
How do you know Boris the Blade? Not real.
He's in a film. Maybe in a film real.
How do you know there isn't a person called nicknamed Boris the Blade?
Yeah.
There is. It's Boris Becker.
Boris the Bankrupt Blade. So how are your two relative teams getting on then?
Not very good.
No?
Can we move on, please?
No, we can't.
Oh, we've got a Giants embargo.
We don't have a Giants embargo.
Have you got the special Giants embargo?
Just flash in.
You're going to add that in the edit, aren't you?
Yep, after edit.
Right. And thank you for listening to
no Giants embargo. So,
how are that team from California doing?
Yeah.
Oh, the best team in California.
Yeah, Oakland.
Yeah.
So the Giants. So let me bring you back. Let me take you all back on a little sort of history tour.
Okay.
June the 26th.
Why are we talking about the Angels?
The Giants had just lost 2 out of 3 to the Rockies, leaving them 34 and 45 overall record.
Okay.
7.5 games out in the wildcard standings.
Mm-hmm.
They are now 52 and 50.
They are.
So they have won 17 out of the last 20 games. The last time they had a 17 and 3 stretch, can you guess how long ago that was? The last time the Giants
33 years.
Not that, no. Not
12
not
years.
That far back.
400
Higher than 12 years.
before the Pilgrims.
33 years.
You're taking this serious. You're not.
16 years.
When the Vikings...
33 years.
Between July and August 2001, so 18 years ago, was the last time they had a 17-3 stretch.
Uh-huh.
And they are now 2 games back in the wildcard standings, which is phenomenal.
It has flipped, because its 9-1 record is easily the best.
And that's just showing the last 10 games. Never mind the last 20.
Didn't they win a game like 400-2 or something?
Not
and
quite.
Like 6 up in like the first 10 seconds of the game.
I think it was a game against, was it the Rockies? I think it was.
I can always tell when the Giants are winning because you message the group.
I'd just like to let you know how we're getting on.
No need to look at the scores because Tom tells me everything I need to know about that team.
Yeah. Quite a happy Giants household.
You have this,
I must say,
this glow now that wasn't there.
It's not the sunburn. It's not the sunburn. It's the glow of the Giants.
There's something different about you. It's interesting to see if they can keep that up.
Well, so we'll see. Time will tell.
You've not really played anyone yet, have you? Let's be honest.
No.
No. You wait till October when you play Red Sox.
I eagerly
in our imaginations.
Eagerly await.
Do you think that'll be the final?
No.
I mean, it's not a bad shout.
Yeah. No. It's going to be the Mets and the Royals.
I think your team, we mentioned this off air, are doing well, but not in the wild card position.
No, they're currently losing to Tampa Bay 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th, but they have won their last 2 games against them. So doing all right. Won 5-4, earlier.
You're having a steady season, not quite as explosive as last season. But
no, but then that's probably down to the Apple Watches.
Why?
I just randomly, I don't know how I missed it, but apparently last year the Red Sox were using Apple Watches to detect the pitches that were going to be used.
Right.
And apparently, allegedly.
How is that not cheating? What? Who? The Red Sox players?
Yeah.
On field?
On field, yeah.
Like actually in their positions with Apple Watches?
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
How is that not getting an unfair advantage?
I don't know whether that is just conjecture, because one of the Apple CEOs or whatever is really central to the Red Sox kind of owners and stuff.
Shares in the MLB.
Yeah,
probably.
So I could just have made it up, and we're going to be sued, and we're going to lose baseball towers.
Did you say allegedly?
I did say allegedly.
That's
once.
fine.
But not the other 6 times.
If you say allegedly, you're not incriminating.
Post edit, I can get that in.
Allegedly. So if I just say allegedly 6 times, you can pick.
Well, you've said it once. Just say it now when no one was talking.
Allegedly.
I'll take that as a soundbite.
Yeah.
And say for everything you say.
Yeah. Allegedly, David is a person.
He's a very lovely man.
Lovely. Padres.
Is it worth talking about the Padres?
I thought they were riding high.
They were doing so well. They were doing so well.
Were they second at one point?
Yeah, maybe not second, but a solid third.
I'll tell you why. It's because it's now the time for the Marlins to surge.
The problem is with the Padres is that we'll beat the Yankees. We'll whitewash the Yankees on a series, then we'll lose in straight sets to the Marlins.
Straight sets.
And then we'll go against the Dodgers.
That's probably where you go wrong against the Marlins. You think, well, we'll easily beat them. We'll play them at tennis.
The broadcast earth.
Not realising that Andre Agassi is actually in the pen for the Marlins.
Look, we had more aces than them. Deservedly winners.
Yeah.
Down to the tiebreaker, lost.
Yeah.
So,
too many double faults.
Too many. Not enough
ace.
What's the love?
Love.
Yeah.
It's basically egg, isn't it? Egg in French.
No, that's neuf.
No, love. Yeah. It's egg in French. Symbolising the 0 is shaped like an egg.
It's earth.
It's
not earth.
The
earth.
Yeah, the egg.
Yeah. But the egg is just earth.
But the egg.
Yeah.
Love.
No. But you're just saying love.
Anyway.
Egg.
I do love
egg.
Especially the love egg.
Yeah. You come on the ring right now.
Several. Controlled by every person in this room.
And that's when I saw your blink.
That's what keeps me. It's already been said. Come on.
I know, and I even
That's a
messed
false
up.
call.
Yeah.
Time out.
Who stole the DJ?
Again, it just makes no sense. Right, let's look at this again.
Everything you said now.
Caught in the middle.
They've all been said.
Love and life. Did you do the love and life bit then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been like ticking him off and stuff.
He's got it all under control, hasn't he?
Yeah. It's his game, his ball.
Yeah, it's his
like,
baby.
It's
His baby.
We're not allowed to play, are we?
No.
This is your game and your game alone.
She's told us that we're not allowed to play it anymore.
I'm not saying another word.
No.
You've ruined the spirit of this podcast with your behaviour.
I don't know.
But Padres, I don't know. We're still 4 games back from your guys in second, and we're bottom, so it's close. It's a really shite division behind the Dodgers.
Not as close as the NL Central, though, which is
I mean, that is crazy.
7.5 games between 5th and 1st.
Yeah, I mean, and no team's really on any sort of form. I mean, the Cubs have lost 3 in a row, Cardinals have won 3 in a row. It's, like I say, 7.5 between all 5 teams.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
Yeah, it could. All it takes is a 2 or 3 game swing.
I mean, imagine the Pirates in the World Series. Imagine.
The Pittsburgh Pirates.
That would be cool.
It would be cool.
Chad cool.
Oh, did you see my one bit of baseball news? The trade deadline is the end of this month, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
And I think in October, the MLB have taken away the option of, because there used to be apparently because the deadline's always been there.
Okay.
But then deals could still go through up until the end of August if it was in, this is probably wrong, but in some state of completion on the deadline.
Depending on how far it was down the line.
I think that's right, yeah.
Right, okay.
And then, as from this season, that's not applicable anymore. So the end of this month is the
deal
end.
Has to be done for the end of the window showing.
A couple of your guys, in fact, mostly your guys in the 50 projected possible trades.
Especially Mad Bum. But after his last 6 starts, only a 2 ERA over 6 starts, they might want to keep him.
Yeah.
So depends what you can get for him, really.
He's got a year left on his contract.
What are you going to get for him? If you're going to get 1 or 2 players who are going to help you push on.
How old is he?
He's in his mid-30s, I think, now.
63.
Is he 63 Ramage?
Yeah, he's 63.
Okay.
And then because
I tend to believe you over Tommy, which actually supports the team.
Yeah, well, because obviously the pitchers don't actually do any running or anything. You can go to like 63.
I'd throw a ball.
Yeah, I mean, big sexy.
What's he up to?
He's still with that club.
Is he really?
Yeah, I don't believe that anyone's signed him.
But he was a free agent, wasn't he? As in, they didn't want him anymore.
I think he was an unrestricted free agent, which basically means
he's not a
he
free
can go
agent.
to anybody
He's in free agency.
Is it just he still plays for them for free, basically? Just give him like a couple of Twinkies after the game?
Probably.
Bartolo Colon.
Cologne.
Which is his name.
It's the nicest smelling baseball player of all time.
He's still a free agent.
I would very much doubt he's the nicest smelling baseball player of all time. Just a theory.
Well,
he is still a free agent.
What do you think he smells like?
Regret and despair.
Brute is a good shout. Or the regret.
Or Old Spice. Or it could be the performance-enhancing drugs.
Coursing through his veins.
Yeah.
Because he is a muscular athlete.
He's big sexy.
Big and sexy. Proven. Yeah. Multiple times. By me.
Yeah.
You.
Especially you.
Well, and also you.
Yeah. Just that one time.
And the other times.
Yeah.
Tell me you want to cheer yourself up.
We're not allowed to talk about that.
No,
tell me you want to cheer yourself up. Just watch his home run. His one and only home run.
I think you should. Is it the one where he takes his sweet time?
Yeah, and everybody in the Mets dugout goes out and leaves him. So he literally has nobody there to congratulate, and then they'll come out afterwards. It's so funny.
I mean, you look at the guy. He must, if he connects with the ball right.
Oh God!
Could easily send it flying.
With the home run, the home run that he did get, it travelled.
Mm.
I mean, if I struck it right, I think I could hit it all of about 3 yards.
Yeah.
No, I believe modern bats there is a sweet spot where the likes of us.
I think that's what's called a bunt.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Well,
he would bunt it.
That is me actually.
He would go to swing it and it would turn into a bunt.
It's a tactical bunt though.
Yeah.
To third base.
Hey, I did score 4 at the weekend, so yeah. Totally mistimed.
It sounds like England needed you tonight, to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
because 4 is like, what's that? It's like
I think that was
0.5% of what they actually got.
I think that was the 5th highest score today. 4. England's score
Poor form.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very poor form.
Curse of the champions, isn't it?
Yes.
World Cup hangover, so to speak.
Yeah, the women are getting a bit of one as well. So
yeah, the Ashes.
Yeah, it's gone.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
Back to the Aussies.
Yeah.
Was it whitewash?
Not yet. There's still 3 games to go. Fortress Chelmsford on Friday. So never lost a game at Chelmsford until it's mentioned today on the podcast.
Is that the game you're going to then?
That's the game we're going to.
Chelmsford.
Is that Jamie the journalist or Jamie the spectator?
Jamie the journalist.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, let's hope they can carry on that winning streak in Chelmsford.
Zone.com.
Well, I know the England men's team, they start their Ashes campaign in, I think, a week or so.
Yeah, Edgbaston.
Edgbaston. Yeah, they do have a formidable record at Edgbaston.
Yeah.
But after the performance today, they're coming up against Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood, who are very, very capable bowlers.
They're very capable bowlers, but they're also very capable of getting injured.
Yeah, they are. Not that we wish injury on anybody.
No.
Yeah. I don't think they've ever played a test match all together. No. That's how injury prone they are.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. See if if the test series picks up after today's debacle.
We haven't actually done a podcast since that final, have we?
No, I think it's the first one.
That was the weekend of the last one we did.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
So if people are wondering what we're talking about, it's gone. It's been
it's old news.
Quite possibly the best cricket final.
It really was.
The best cricket final ever.
It really was. I mean, I don't show much care to cricket in general.
My girlfriend is now a cricket fan.
But the thing is, I mean, you looked at that weekend, you had the British Grand Prix, another sport, I'm like, I'll watch it if it's meaningful. Lewis on his home patch, breaking the record.
6 times, I think.
6 times. The Wimbledon final, between 2 of arguably the greatest modern day tennis players.
Yeah, Tim Henman and
Greg Rosetsky. And the cricket World Cup final.
Yeah, that was.
And my God, even I was like,
well, the women's final 2 years ago, you had turned around and said, "Well, that's going to be the greatest World Cup final of any."
But then
did that go to the wire?
Well, India were cruising. They probably only needed like 20, 30 runs, and then Anish Rabsol came in and just blitzed them. And England won by about 12 runs.
Jesus.
Wow.
And it was one of those games where New Zealand had set an innings of like a respectable score.
Yeah.
Like not the highest score, but
no.
enough to win a game.
With their bowling attack.
Yeah. And then England came in and was sort of steady and slow.
Yeah.
And sort of the run rate's not that high. And then the wickets were starting to fall.
Early wickets.
And it was just like, okay, not quite panic stations, but...
When you look at the...
Butler and Stokes.
You look at the first ball, and Jason Roy should have been our first ball.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a Stonewall LBW.
Yeah.
But he went on to make, I think it was 17, and he got given out. And then, like you say, the wickets just...
Who was the main man of that innings? Was it Stokes?
Stokes and Butler.
Yeah.
Who was recently nominated for
New Zealander of the Year.
What the hell was that? I heard about it.
He was born in New Zealand and lived there till he was about 12.
Oh my God.
And then his dad, who is a rugby league coach, came over here, and he's lived here ever since.
But he has come out and said, Ben Stokes, that he's not going to accept it, and it should be nominated. It should be given to Kane Williamson, who was the New Zealand captain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Credit to him.
Yeah. Very graceful in defeat.
Yeah.
New Zealand, very, very graceful.
Yeah.
For a surprise, actually.
You could argue that I know it sounds weird, but no team deserved to lose on that day.
Yeah. Really didn't.
The 6 that was accredited to Stakes, where it's
supposed to be a 5.
It's supposed to be a 5.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be a 5?
Yeah,
as per the rules, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's what an Australian umpire's come out.
Because
an Aussie umpire.
Because when it hit his bat,
it
was originally adjudged to have got the second run.
It hadn't,
but it hadn't actually crossed the line.
Yeah.
So he was on one at a time, on the way back for the second, not quite touched base, and then the free ball incident,
which would have meant
that's the way I read it as.
Which they would have won by 1 run. Though.
Yeah. Although the way you say that, but then they would have pushed harder to get the extra run.
Yeah, of course.
And probably would have got it in the freakish end of.
And then the Super Over to kind of decide who's going to win it after the tie. That ended in a tie.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, he scored the most boundaries.
It went on the most boundaries.
Like, what the hell is that? Yeah. I'd have been happy for another over.
I think some of the players were even asking the umpires, what are the rules in Super Over?
I've never known that as a concept.
I think I've seen one.
Super Over is kind of a relatively new kind of concept, because otherwise it would have been bowl out before then.
Yeah.
Where you just have one player bowls 3 or 6 balls at some unguarded stumps. The one that hits it the most times wins.
Well, that's just like a child's game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
But that was what they had for years to settle that.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, for tension, it was one of those games where I was just like, obviously you're going to follow your home nation in any sport.
And it was on Channel 4.
It was for free.
Yeah.
I would like to see that for free regardless.
Yeah.
Because sports need free exposure.
Yeah, apparently the Lord's Test match might go free to air from next year or something.
Well, it used to be.
Yeah.
Who's got the Ashes now?
Sky.
Well, there we are.
Yeah, Sky got the Ashes.
It was one of the crown jewels, the Test matches. And then...
The Channel 4.
Channel 4 used to have the Ashes,
and the BBC before that.
Yeah.
And then I think it got to the stage where they're like, we need to make money rather than just show them.
Oh, yeah.
But is it the ECB? Do they get money from Sky Sports?
They get a hell of a lot of money from Sky Sports. And to be fair to them, they do reinvest it in grassroots.
I suppose that's pretty good.
Yeah, they do.
It's just the sports package now is just like... There was someone posted on Twitter about the upcoming Premier League season. And to watch every live game, whether it be on Sky Sports, BT and...
Amazon, I think.
Amazon have got the games. It works out at like £1,050 to watch every live televised game on all the packages over $1,000,
which is ridiculous.
Is ridiculous.
Is that a bit like when somebody says, "Oh, it cost me like £2,000 to get from like Doncaster to Edinburgh on the train"? Where if you're savvy, you can like get it for like 40, 50.
I mean, there is a certain package that I've found out about. I don't know if it's legal or not.
Okay.
But it works out at
allegedly
it is €60 a year.
Okay.
For all, and this is outside of sport.
Yeah.
Just all televised Sky channels, basically.
Okay.
Won't mention the name of it because I don't know how legal it is, but
it's in euros, so that gives
you possibly Irish.
Yeah.
But €60 is there were certain levels of packages that one gave you.
So that's
a month, and one gave you 3 months, and this.
So that's
one
like
for the
£400 a month.
It will be soon.
In these new times. That's the fact that said the better.
Say what we forgot to ask Guthrie actually. Okay, I'll get there.
What did you say? Yeah, you can cut that out. Have another go.
No,
sorry.
I'll leave both in.
Sorry,
I'll just swap them round.
Okay.
So it looks like I'm doubting myself. What his favourite baseball movie was?
Oh, yes.
Well,
you seem to think for some reason.
Obviously, it's A League of Their Own.
Do you know I actually watched week before last?
A League of Their Own.
Bull Durham for the first time.
It's not too bad, is it?
It's alright, it's pretty daft.
Season Sarah
and Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Pretty adorable.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Bit of fun.
And Mr. Cosner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's a laugh.
It probably is his best baseball film.
Costner.
Yeah.
It's debatable.
It is though.
No, but it's debatable.
Yeah. It's not, because it is actually...
No, it's actually up for debate.
It's actually a film where he actually plays baseball in it, rather than just like...
Might be his best baseball performance in a movie, but it's not his best performance.
I know, but the other one
it's not his best
but the other one
performance
is about,
in a baseball movie.
The other one is about building a baseball field for a team of Chiefs to play on.
See, you say that, but it does uplift you at the end.
Does it though?
It's a good feeling.
Does it though?
Yeah.
It's got Darth Vader in it.
It does.
Yeah.
Before Lion King fame.
Can I actually use your toilet?
You can?
You can edit that out if you want.
No.
That's staying in. We need to know consistency.
The elevator's out of action, Tom, so it's 6 flights, I'm afraid.
6 flights?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's 4 women's toilets on this floor.
Oh, okay.
No women work here. Just there for equal opportunities.
So how can we slate Mr. Boultby?
Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret.
Okay.
I saw him make contact with a certain female celebrity
Okay.
on one of the social media sites.
Okay.
Get himself in a bit of bother.
Yeah.
And 2 minds whether to tell his lovely partner.
Yeah. To be fair, I think she actually knows. Yeah.
I mean, do we bank on it knowing? Or...
Well, she doesn't listen to this. That's for sure.
My girlfriend actually shared our podcast on at work.
Okay.
And even she said, he asked, what's it about? And she said, I think it's basketball. and apparently his response, well, I don't care then. And I was just like, no, correct him. It's baseball. He will then care.
Everybody loves baseball.
Everyone. Whether you choose to accept it or actually do love it, you do love it.
Yes. Some people just don't know it yet.
No. Yeah. I'm still not sure.
Yeah. Even Michael Bublé loves baseball.
He likes the Toronto Blue Jays, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Hometown?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it is. Definitely Drake's hometown, isn't it?
Is it?
Because the Raptors is his basketball team.
Okay.
There was that the close. What's their close season called?
Off season.
No, their cup thing at the end.
Stanley.
No, it was actually called that's ice hockey, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the
basketball one.
Basketball one. I don't know. We're not a basketball podcast, Sean. We're not a basketball podcast
because they were. They beat the Golden
State. Is it just
State.
The playoffs?
It might be. They beat the Golden State Warriors, I think, in the final, and there was the constant exposure of Drake on the front touchline in the crowd.
Was he planking?
He might have been, but there was just the camera seemed to focus on. Oh, he's here now.
Yeah. Those 6 flights are a killer.
He record time, though.
Yeah.
I did right.
Or did you just go in one of the ladies?
No,
and then pop to the toilet after.
Yeah. I ran the last 4 flights.
And you're not out of breath?
I get exercising.
Disgraceful.
A man of absolute fitness.
Yeah. Peak physique.
Because he didn't actually run it up. He just jumped it up. Just
like Jonathan Edwards.
Yeah.
Up a drain pipe. 3 jumps. 10 metres.
Allegedly off a drain pipe.
No, I'm pretty sure about this one.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
Isn't he from Gateshead or something? Or didn't he do something remarkable in Gateshead? I mean, not that anybody's ever done anything remarkable in Gateshead. Didn't he break the world record there? Or was that in Stockholm?
It's one of the two.
One of the two.
I mean, I get them mixed up all the time.
Yeah.
It's easily done, Gateshead and Stockholm.
Yeah. I mean, one's an awful tip with really weird people.
I mean, a pilot has got, is it Munich and Edinburgh mixed up or whatever the 2 cities were? So
that sounds like it could be easily mistaken.
Yeah.
Easily mistaken.
Not even the same island. You think you'd stop because you see water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the plane.
Yeah. Was he or wasn't he?
Something happened in 1995.
I mean, something always happens, but you have to be more specific.
His world record event was in 1995.
Oh, okay.
Where it was? Oh, he lives in Gosforth in Newcastle, so that's probably what
Durham, isn't it?
Yeah, that way.
Gosforth. I've been through there.
Oh, Gothenburg.
So again, easy to get stuck.
Gothenburg, Gateshead.
Stockholm. At least one of them was in the right
I'm actually up those neck of the woods this coming weekend.
Stockholm.
Gothenburg.
Just for the weekend. No, to lovely Newcastle.
Oh yeah, you've got your stadium tour?
Yeah, the stadium tour on the Saturday. Lovely 10 to 6 bus from Mansfield.
Park is in Exeter.
Not going to that one this time.
No,
I've been there once though. It was very foggy.
Nice.
Must have been the drugs before I got there.
But surely that would be the other St James's Park.
In Exeter.
Because of the fog on the...
Fog on the day.
Yeah.
Fog on the town is on mine.
Oh,
How we?
we'll never get that back ever again.
Never.
Who's the fella that just signed?
Joe Linton.
Yeah.
Sounds like just a regular 19-year-old from...
What the hell? How does Benitez get nothing? Brucey comes in. Steve's the Steve Bruce.
It's amazing what a bit of fan unrest can do.
I'll tell you why. Because it's a Brucey bonus.
But it's just like... I mean, hand on heart, I'd never heard of the guy.
Never heard of it.
Who? Well,
Exactly.
Steve Bruce.
Never heard of him. Who is he? Who is he? I mean, was it Hoffenheim?
Hoffenheim, yeah.
No.
40 million. I tell you what, if you're Hoffenheim's owner...
It does seem like a lot of money for a player
You're
with unremarkable stats.
you're on the phone and you're like, sorry, did you say 14? 40? I'll walk him to you.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I've
Pros,
got to
he's
piggyback
Brazilian and he's 22.
well,
That's the only sort of...
But didn't Man United fall into that trap once?
Fred.
But Liverpool did with Bobby Firmino.
He's not done that bad.
Young Brazilian. And his record pre-signing, very similar
He
to...
was Hoffenheim as well, weren't he? Yeah, I think he was Hoffenheim as well, yeah. Because I know this new guy, Joe Linton's been, like, not compared to Firmino, but because they came from the same...
Definitely been compared to him, yeah.
Who's this young buck that you've been linked with from West Ham?
Andy Carroll.
Andy Carroll.
Andy Carroll, yeah, the old spring chicken.
Yeah.
In his prime, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
I don't
wait.
get
It's
that.
good,
If it's a pay per play deal, I kind of get it because it's going to be a free transfer, which suits Mike Ashley down to the ground.
But there was back on the Joe Linton thing. There was a comment on one of the socials where, so we've let Rondon go. We've had a decent season. He's big, he's strong. He knows the league. He can clearly score goals.
Player of the season.
Let him go when we had a chance to sign him.
For 16 million.
Yeah, and then buy a player and pay over twice as much. Someone that doesn't have a league, is fairly young, not that
it's
prolific.
It's a big gamble,
and
it could be a very expensive gamble if it doesn't work.
I'm excited to see Muto, Joe Linton, and Almiron.
I think Muto. I think he is a pretty savvy player. I think I watched the.
He's a very similar player to Perez.
Similar, yeah.
The only thing that kept him out last season was Perez having the season of his life.
In the last half of the season,
Yeah.
But I don't think Rafa rated Muto a lot.
Claimed he wasn't too good with his English, and there was
There was the interview after the West Ham game.
fairly decent, well spoken.
You try speaking Japanese.
No.
His English is better than our Japanese.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So
yeah, his English better.
I
than
get that
ours.
I get that they have to speak the language, but
better than your English.
I think Muto for his price tag, $9.5 million in today's day and age, albeit it was I think 2 years ago, a year ago, something like that.
Yeah,
I think he can be a good player.
well, time will tell now.
Yeah,
this is his chance.
Yeah.
So you've spent 40 million on one player.
Like I say, it's amazing what a bit of...
Which is twice Norwich's actual proper budget.
Well, here's the thing. There was, again, comments about the new striker. Yeah. One guy did say, it just seems like our board, after pressure of not buying and not spending, it's gone too far the other way. Whereas teams like Norwich have proven that you can get a decent team on a shoestring. Yeah. Like the Pookie guy cost you fuck all.
Team Pookie.
Well, no pounds.
On a free, wasn't
he? He was.
And just proves that if you're a little savvy in the market,
which we have been before.
We have, because we've had to be.
Johan Cabaye, 4.5 million.
Yeah.
Probably one of our best players in the past.
Fabian Scher for
3.5 million.
Yeah.
We spent more getting
our most expensive players.
We spent more getting Steve Bruce than we have done on Fabian Scher. When you think of it that way,
we spent more on Steve Bruce than he was prepared to give Benitez to stay.
Yeah, and I think Sheffield Wednesday are coming for more money as well.
Sheffield Wednesday has reported us to the Premier League, so we'll see how that goes. I'll give Steve Bruce a chance. It's not Steve Bruce's fault.
No, it isn't. He's a man that's just took a job in his hometown.
He will get a lot of stick, and probably due to his record, rightly so.
Well, that famous Gateshead band, ABBA, they had a song, Take a Chance on Me.
Take a Chance on Me, yeah.
They're from Gateshead.
Goss.
Yeah.
Fred Frith.
Yeah.
Fred
Frith from Gosforth.
Time will tell. I mean, 40 million. He will ultimately be judged by his price tag. That's how footballers are being judged now.
But even that, I think Almiron,
not on the content of their Twitter account.
Almiron's first few minutes in a competitive game was just him chasing every cause,
albeit Huddersfield.
Yeah. I think
it was the last 10 minutes against Wolves where we conceded in the 95th minute. That was his debut. And the next game was Huddersfield where he run them ragged.
And so all it will take is the new fella just show the similar amount of passion.
Yeah.
Just hit the blocks running from the start.
If you give 100%, that is all the fans will ask.
Can't do worse than Hosselu, can you? Really? Let's be honest.
I think he was made a bit of a scapegoat at times.
He was unfairly. He was awful, but
he wasn't great. But
it wasn't through lack of trying.
No.
It was the fifth choice striker at Stoke, for God's sake.
Exactly.
And we paid money for him.
We spent £5 million.
Yeah.
£5 million.
Stoke would have been like, well, that's a freebie, isn't it?
Absolutely, I'll take you £5 million.
That's 5 more than we deserve.
But it's amazing what a bit of fan unrest can do. Plans to boycott the Arsenal game, which
I still think it'll be a boycott.
I don't think it'll be a full boycott.
No.
I think you'll get probably around 38,000.
Yeah.
When you look at St James's holding 14,000 people,
it's going to look bare.
And it depends what atmosphere there is as well. But it's sort of a catch-22 because it's not the players' fault.
I mean, the people in the Facebook group saying, if you buy a ticket, you're part of the problem. And I sort of see the point, but then young kids that just want to see the team play, that don't care about the politics.
I see both sides. I do see both sides.
Because this is your chance now, that as a home fan, this is your chance to go see a game.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a season ticket holder.
No.
There's going to be spaces.
You'll get tickets on the day, absolutely. But I think ultimately the hate and the anger needs to be directed towards one man.
Of course it does. And I think 90% of the time it is...
Give Steve a chance.
Give Steve a chance.
I think... I will give him a chance, but ultimately he will be judged. I mean,
we don't call him the Steve Bruce for nothing, do they?
No. Steve.
The first three games are quite tough.
Arsenal
at home, Norwich away, and then Spurs away. So if he gets no points after that, then they'll be looking at
games.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 easy ones. And then Norwich.
You'll be looking to beat Norwich purely and simply because they're going to be a team who I think for us we're going to be fighting in and around.
Yeah.
We've won like 3% of our first games of the season in the Premier League, but then after that we bossed them all.
Hey, look at our games in the Championship. They were very high scoring games.
2-2 and 4-3.
Yeah.
We were more or less bottom of the table at the start of September.
Mm.
So,
look at it now.
Yeah.
Like 12th, aren't you?
Well, we got a guaranteed at least 19th place finish.
Yeah.
Sheffield
United, general consensus for bottom team?
No.
They're odds on, I think.
None of Brighton, I'd say.
As with every sort of team.
I reckon Brighton will do a lot better this season because they've actually got a manager that's got a plan B.
But here's the thing, I don't think that team is very good.
Well, they've just let Knockout go as well to Fulham.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit dodgy towards the end of last season.
I think Potter's a good manager, but he needs a half-decent team, as any manager does.
They have spent money. They spent a bit of money, but in this day and age, it's how you spend it.
I don't think they had bad players because they did go on a decent run. I think they just...
Carried by Murray, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The man's, 34 now?
Yeah.
But, what's his name? Just never had a plan B.
Chris Hughton.
Often.
Yeah. I think he is a very good manager, though, but like you say, he doesn't have a plan B.
Yeah. When things are going wrong, he doesn't know how to turn around. And that's what, at that level, that's what you need.
Well, you do. You need it.
But then you can say the same about Potter. He took charge of a team in Sweden that were pretty naff. Ostersunds. But then after a while, it was just constant success.
Yeah.
So, and he left before it sort of subdued. So it's like, has he really been challenged one season at Swansea?
Well, when Norwich played them, they were a very difficult team to beat. So,
and Swansea, I don't think had a bad team.
No,
they've let a few players go down this Swansea as well. With Daniel James going to United for I think 20 million.
Yeah, I think Leroy Furs on his way out. He's been released.
Yeah. He's quite an old player now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's Sheffield United won him.
I think he's a player that flatters to deceive. I think he'll score like one decent goal a season, and it's just average.
Yeah, we'll see. See how the season pans out.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to do an apology. Because last episode I was riffing on the
Loughborough
pronunciation.
Loughborough.
And lowbrow this is where I want to use this to get some like
clarity.
Yeah.
Use it
where I got my sources from.
So disgraced podcaster Jamie Ramage issues heartfelt apology.
Yep. So lowbrow is a Dave Gorman pronunciation.
Right.
Yeah. And you know how you're saying that I'm a fan of James Acaster? I watched his show again and he did the League of Brugge thing. So, I'm not claiming them to be my pronunciations. They are other people's. I'm sure they've got them from other people as well. But I just like to clarify that. And that goes in the bloopers at the end of the thing that we'll release in like 20 years. So
Dennis Norden does an outtake special about the bullpen
from Beyond the Grave.
Rest in peace, or not? Who knows at this point?
Yeah, who knows?
Exactly.
I mean, Rip Torn. I generally thought he was dead before he died. It's just sometimes you don't know.
R.I.P. Rip.
You look at people.
That was a headline more than occasion.
You look at people and you think, I thought you were dead.
Yeah. Genuinely thought. Yeah.
I swore you died.
Like Kirk Douglas, just going to be dead for years.
I don't know how David is still alive with all the coke he snobs.
Well, look. Please say allegedly. Please specify that one.
Yeah.
Let's not incriminate.
Yeah.
Well, you only have to go in like the women's toilets in here, and it's just like covered in coke.
Well, I don't go in there.
Yeah.
I'm not Thomas Bowlby.
The floors are really sticky because of all that brown consistency of the coke on the floor.
Don't nod at me like that. I've not been in there.
Suggestively.
Yeah.
No,
or seductively.
Because it's Coca-Cola, not the other type of coke.
Okay. That's fine.
That's what I'm saying. It's the one who's still alive when you snort all that coke.
Didn't you say cocaine the first time, though?
No, coke.
I thought you said cocaine.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I said cocaine.
Allegedly.
This will need some editing.
No, man.
For my own sake.
Yeah.
My career is on the line.
Your career is not on the line. You're so rich.
I heard this on Bill Burr's latest podcast episode.
Okay.
Where, as a celebrity, you've got one
day
free...
where you can do coke.
Well, many times if you get away with it. But one free pass of saying it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's like, well, come on, this is the second time now.
Is Bill Murray dead?
Well, I think it's the... No. I think they call it the R. Kelly conundrum. It's like, you've got one chance of saying it wasn't me, and it's like, okay.
He did it repeatedly, though. And then,
like I say, but the second time it was like,
no,
keeps coming up.
Those allegations...
Oh, Robert Kelly?
Yeah.
Ruth? What's his name?
Ronald. Reginald,
yeah.
Right. Regan.
Rivita.
Don't just don't besmirch the good name of Ryvita.
Relly Kelly.
Yeah. I mean, we're big fans at the bullpen of Ryvita, so if you've got some nice...
It's alright.
I'm not.
Honestly, with a bit butter, well, a lot butter, a bit peanut butter on top.
Doesn't that defeat the object of a Ryvita though? Because douse it with butter and peanut butter.
It's like putting chocolate on your salad.
A little bit.
Why would that? It's a dry cracker thing.
If you have it because I don't get it. Why would you put?
People tend to eat them sort of dried for like
health purposes.
Yeah.
You're slathering a tub of Nutella, right?
Yeah. I didn't say Nutella.
It sounds delicious though.
But no, it's a cracker. You can have whatever you want on it. You don't have to just be like a Puritan and just like eat it dry. You glass of lukewarm water next to it.
What about Ryvita on a Ryvita?
Yeah, but we're filling.
No, just you said any topping. That's what I want.
It wants a Ryvita. It wants a Ryvita.
It's as good as
dry.
One of my friends that has butter on his Weetabix.
No.
No milk.
Who is this heathen?
And he's from Doncaster, so it's
there you go.
No, they are Backwoodsville.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Not allegedly. Fact.
Categorically say fact.
It's constantly in the top 10 of the crap towns thing. The survey did.
Doncaster.
Yeah. It's pretty much South Yorkshire and Hull. And the top 10.
Hull was given what's it?
City culture.
Yeah. But it was in this year's crap town.
The Dossal.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Just because it's got the Deep and a cultural festival.
What doesn't make it any better than what it is.
No hope. We really have offended a lot of towns.
We have.
Right, who's next? Basingstoke.
Oh no, leave Bezo alone. Leave Bezo alone!
How about Bracknell? Home of the Bees.
Bracknell Bees.
Yeah.
Do you know what team they are?
Where the fuck is Bracknell? Is that up north or down south?
You don't know where Bracknell is?
Generally, I have no idea.
That's the name of it. So this is the title of the podcast this week. Do you know the way to Bracknell?
I don't know where Bracknell is.
It's in Berkshire.
Berkshire?
Is that near Reading?
It is near Reading. Yeah, I get into trouble for calling it Berkshire, which is why I call it Berkshire.
Not the Shire of the Berks.
Aren't the Bracknell Bees a ice hockey team?
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, you learn something every day. Every day is a school day.
The Bracknell Bees.
Apart from tomorrow.
Yeah, because it's the first day of my summer holiday.
Woo! Is it 6 weeks of debauchery then, Mr. Ramage?
No, it's 6 weeks of work as a journalist.
With a little bit of debauchery slipped in.
A bit of cocaine,
allegedly. Allegedly some Diet Coke with a twist of strawberry.
Oh, good steady.
This man.
Drugs
testing right now.
Just lying on the
Or
edge.
the one with the mango in. That's quite good.
He's like a Russian athlete with all these drug tests.
That you're not the first person to call me Russian, and it's really annoying me.
Russian?
We'll just slow down a bit then.
Shut up. Yeah, some of the kids at my school seem to think that I'm a Russian spy.
You're KGB?
Yeah, which is news to me.
Well, you were the one that was so adamant to talk about famous Borises. The clues were there.
Is Boris the Blade one of your KGB assassins?
Well, I mean, I only know Boris Becker, so I don't know where you get that from.
He's bound to out though. He's sworn to secrecy with KGB.
They won't tell us who you work for.
I work for the Bullpen Podcast.
Who do you work for?
I work for the Bullpen Podcast.
No, who do you work for?
I work for the Bullpen Podcast.
It's now out, is it?
I work for the Bullpen Podcast. That's all you're getting out of me.
I'll ask you again off here.
No. I work for the Bullpen Podcast.
What have you two been watching, just to round off the episode then? What's on your television radar last couple of weeks?
On my radar, I've not been watching a lot recently, but on my radar is the new Witcher series for Netflix.
Yeah.
Which looks very good, I must say. Henry
Cavill, yeah.
Yeah, Superman,
yeah.
It looks very, very good, I must say. Based on the games and the books.
Yeah. My only gripe with the promo shots they've released. It just looks like it's people in cosplay. The way it's been shot and the way it's just like so theatrically staged.
I can offend some more people.
Oh, go on.
What's the point of cosplay?
It gets people tons of money.
Yeah, but what is the point? Other than
that is literally the point.
That's the point.
Yeah,
earn people money.
If it's done well and people make their costumes from hand, and spend a couple of dollars on them, they can make so much money.
I know that I went to university with one. Sorry, I went to university with a person that does make very good cosplay costumes, but I just don't see the point.
It depends how, because it's cosplay is pulled from a specific part of pop culture.
Okay.
Like most of gaming does delve into films and stuff.
Yeah.
And so the more parts of that culture you're a fan of, the cooler it is to see in person, I think. Because I've been to a couple of cons where it's like, I mean, how else would you be able to see the Xenomorph and fucking Link from Zelda, the alien, the long-headed alien from that film? Aliens.
Alien vs Predator.
Yeah, anyway, what's called the Alien film?
Alien.
That's the one. Him, and Link from Zelda, and I don't know, Ash from Evil Dead, and Chunk from the Goonies, all in the same room. It's just one. I mean, I don't have much interest as other people would. I wouldn't pay to see anyone cosplay. No. But it's one of them in passing. It's like, oh, it's the Ghostbusters. Oh, it's
it's you know who they are.
Arena.
It's like it's two stages. One's like, oh, it's that guy, and it's like, that's a really cool costume. That must have took some
time and effort to do.
Yeah. I watched the 2017 film the other day with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler.
Amy,
is it Poehler?
Poehler,
whatever. I don't care.
What film's that?
The House.
Okay, what's it about?
It's about a house.
I've never heard of it.
No, they live in this small town, and their daughter
is a house.
Their daughter is a house. Is Dr. House. And the town are just about to award her a scholarship to go to university, but the council or whoever it is runs the city decide they're going to build like a mega swimming pool instead
on top of the house.
Demolish the house.
No. So with I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, that one. From the hit
Brooklyn Nine-Nine again. He's one of those sort of side actors in comedy shows.
Always acts a crazy film.
Yeah.
So they start a legal casino.
In the house.
Yeah, or next to the house.
Yeah.
House always wins.
Exactly, that's where it comes
That's
from.
what it's about.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So
solves it.
Full circle.
And it's all about how the
house,
the scrapes that they get into, like getting caught up with the local gangsters
in the house.
Yeah, and like accidentally cutting off their finger and stuff. But yeah,
sounds alright.
And that's why I emailed you the question: Is there only like 20 comedic actors in America?
And I do see your point. It is a dilemma.
Yeah, because it seems to be the same faces in every film.
And I will say the same, that with SNL not being up to scratch, that was the breeding ground for comedy actors for years in America.
Yeah.
Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Will Ferrell, big one. The guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. What's his real name? Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, that guy.
That chap.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
They all came about,
and
I'd probably say early 2000s. Sort of the Bill Hader, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey era.
Yeah.
That was,
Tina Fey.
For me, the golden age of...
Yeah.
From when I've been alive, at least. Like, the 80s was like king of SNL. You can watch that now and be like,
what's going on?
It is supposed to be up and coming actors, but eventually they must find themselves some role, some breakthrough role.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're never going to hear these actors.
No.
I don't think.
It's a shame.
It is, but I don't know, comedy's changing.
It is, as we've discussed before in the past.
So what's the film called again?
The House.
And what's it about?
It's about people.
I'll give it a watch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it.
No.
And pretend I know what it's about.
Yeah. It's about the house.
It's about a house.
So what's been on your radar then, Mr. Drake?
Well, I will point you.
I've seen you
90 degrees.
Yep.
Anti-clockwise.
Or
You watched a film that is as old as Rambo?
At least one of them is so far, yeah. So this is the 100 movies bucket list.
That's sort of a scratch poster.
And I believe they're
Evil
taken
Dead.
from the top 100 as rated on IMDb. And then all you do is you as you watch a film, you scratch the little square. And each so far. Each picture is a little homage to that movie. I've watched The Goonies first.
Yeah.
And then The Evil Dead a couple of days ago.
I think I've watched The Goonies, but it was like 30 years ago, so I don't know if that counts.
It's the first time I've watched it since
I've never watched it.
I was about 15, I'd say.
I must say I've never watched it.
We could do like a bullpen commentary.
We could do. My quick reviews of the two I've seen, The Goonies doesn't hold up, and The Evil Dead is wacky.
Yeah.
But one scene is very, very... oof, yeah.
This the first scene.
It's for people that have seen it, it's the tree branch scene.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
So
I think I've seen it, but I can't remember.
it's like...
graphic.
People have seen it, it's like, oh, which one is it?
Somebody showed me a video the other day of somebody that was like cutting a branch off a tree, and the branch smacks back in their face and gets the chainsaw in their face.
Oh no!
It was just like a chunky.
I mean, there was a remake about 2 years ago, so maybe that.
But no, this was just a
We have some weird friends sending stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Is this Doncaster Dan?
No. It is.
Basingstoke Barry.
I was about to say Basingstoke Ben.
Yeah, it was Cope with Kev.
Oh, Kev.
Gospel of Gary.
What else have I been watching? Finished Stranger Things off. I think I mentioned that last time.
I'm still to watch that. I do need to.
It's halfway through season 2. I've gone a bit of a hiatus.
You've done well though. You only started it 2 weeks ago, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, what's your feeling so far?
Things happen and they're quite strange.
Well, one thing I'm looking forward to is...
There's one sentence to sum up that series.
Yeah.
That's it.
One thing I'm looking forward to is the new series of Peaky Blinders. I don't know if I mentioned it.
Yeah, I think you
Season
did.
5.
Not my jam, but
very good.
I'll tell you what, there's a shame there's not going to be any more of it, and that's Choco Vision.
Yeah?
No.
Yeah.
No one's laughing now.
Rest in peace.
No. I think some
Barry.
that's an old Bob Monkhouse joke, isn't it?
Yeah, people laughed at me when I
said I wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah, no one's laughing now.
That's very good.
Oh, what's the one about his dad as the bus driver? He crashes the bus. What's the punchline in that one?
I can't remember.
And it's something to do with him and his passing it. I'm going to butcher it if I try to go.
All jokes of all time ever were thought up by Bob Monkhouse.
Yeah.
And you have to pay royalties to him, and it's crippling us. So please sponsor us.
Bob, if you're out there.
Yeah.
If you're listening,
Rest in peace.
What else have I been watching? I'm still ploughing through The Office US, season 6 at the minute. I said to you off air, always a show I enjoy. Season 5 for me is the peak.
Okay.
6 currently is a bit underwhelming. I don't know how true this is. I think it was supposed to end after 7 seasons, and it ran 9.
Oh, that's also affair is talking about watching Community. I'm thinking
that's the next on our list.
I'm thinking either series 1 or 3, maybe best.
Oh, I've not watched it
In a year.
twice.
Yeah,
It's one of those. I've watched it through once.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet Jeff and the guys.
There's some comic actors that should actually be getting more work.
Alison Brie is getting work. Let's not joke about that.
No.
I mean, Glow. Everyone's seen the gorgeous lady.
The wrestling now.
She should be like A-list. She should be on A-list.
I think she's She's been in movies. That's not.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but she should have more significant roles in movies.
Jeff Winger, Joel McHale.
Yeah.
He's got his own show.
He's got his own show. Well, technically he's not an actor.
Childish Gambino is like huge.
Yeah.
Britta's been in a couple of Netflix shows.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
Pooty, isn't it?
Not really seen him in anything since.
No, it's a shame. But then I think he's been typecast, isn't he?
Yeah,
As
very.
being a person.
Very. The meta breaker.
Yeah. And the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First role, apparently.
Yeah. Just pluck him out of obscurity.
Yeah.
He just kind of fit the character.
64 years old, first TV role.
Fits the mould.
Fantastic.
Chevy. He was in Simon and Garfunkel.
Chevy Chance? What was his name?
Something like that.
Some people sort of grow into roles, don't they, as well? Organically.
He was in that one music video in the 80s, and then they just...
Paul Simon.
Yeah. Paul Simon.
Well, what about you then, Tom? What have you been watching?
Stuff.
I haven't really. I don't watch a lot of TV or Netflix now. To be fair, I don't tend to watch it. But
Disgrace.
I know. There's so many things I need to catch up on. Like say Stranger Things and stuff like that. I am waiting for the new series of Making a Murderer 3.
Still not seen 2 yet, to be honest.
That's one thing. Me and my girlfriend we binged that. It hooked us straight away. It's like, come on, we need more.
Is that because you've been involved in a celebrity scandal just recently?
Allegedly.
No, he was on OJ's defence team.
Yeah, the Orange
Geller.
and the Orange Geller.
Bill Clinton's defence team, he did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Did not. Yeah. Apart from maybe twice. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Come on.
Allegedly.
Did you watch Ozark?
No. Is that the drugs related?
Cartel with Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Have you seen Narcos?
See, he's not been in a lot of things either.
He had a little spurt, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, when he was in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've not seen Narcos.
Narcos. I watched the first season and a half. It's really good. Really good. Obviously about Pablo Escobar and how he rose to fame.
Is that the one that's all in Spanish?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm quite tempted to watch A League of Their Own.
Any reason?
Don't know.
I mean, why would you just choose to watch the second greatest baseball film of all time?
Why would I watch Bull Durham?
I'm going to call it a day there.
Yeah, but me and Tom are going to carry on.
There's just no game through to you.
Sorry?
No sense.
Who are you?
I never told you.
We'd like to thank Guthrie Miller for coming on tonight.
Top lad.
Sportbooks UK.
Yeah, go follow him on Twitter.
Bucks. Bucks.
Yes, as in the green, the Benjamins.
Because when I was searching and going like sports books, because you don't speak properly, I was like
the sport books.
Yeah, I was like, what? Sport books? Is that some sort of gambling thing? and when he did say the name of his thing, it was like, yeah, that makes sense now.
It's a worthy cause, I think.
Yes.
I hope it does well for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll link all of his sort of information in our headline. And
so thanks to him.
Thank you very much for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, thanks to you.
Thank you as well. Thank you, Mr. Ramesh.
We've all done well.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
In the heat.
Yes. Yeah, I am literally melting.
Yeah.
I'm the Wicked Witch of the West.
You are, and the East.
And
Yeah.
the North and the South.
Well, not the North, because the North's right.
You are the beast from the East.
No. Slough from the South.
The vest from the West.
Slough isn't the South, though.
The mouth from the South. They watch Shooting Stars.
Yeah.
Brilliant. They used to like a vest come down like the vest from the West. Just like lower it down. It was Reeves and Mortimer. That was TV gold.
Yeah.
Absolute gold.
Big Night Out still funny. Confirmed.
Okay.
Dick and Bob's Big Night Out.
Yeah.
Still good. Still good. The BBC's given them a platform.
Yeah, I agree.
So, follow me on Twitter, davidrdring. Follow Jamie on Twitter. That's
the famous Strauss.
Follow Mr. Boultby on Twitter at TBoultby.
If you
Obviously, Bullpen Pod.
Yeah, Bullpen Pods.
And
Bullpen Pod.
at sport_books UK is Guthrie Miller's page.
Yes.
Give him a follow, that'd be great.
Give that guy a warm, hearty handshake.
Absolutely.
And we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Allegedly. Bye.
Bye.